Alright. GC MMA boys coming to you this week with our Prates versus Garry breakdown. Boys, we know there was no card last weekend, and this leads us into our next topic, but there was no card last weekend, and it may have been one of, if not the most profitable sports betting weeks/weekends of our entire career on this. Like, we'll put it up right here. We're not going to talk crazy. Like, we don't want to make it seem like we're talking crazy numbers, but we're just saying this is one of our best weeks so far. Like, a week, seven days. And so we're just trying to come to the conclusion, like, yeah, of course, we still have love for MMA, want to talk about it, but should we start dropping the other plays? It's like we are literally running that outside of the UFC. And the UFC is probably one of, if not the most rogue sports to even put this shit on. So should we start dropping the other plays?
Boys, just because there's no UFC for a week doesn't mean GCMMA isn't making money, boys. We're going to put both of our screenshots of what we made on the week with no UFC. The UFC is honestly our least profitable sport out of all the things.
We do it every weekend pretty much for the fuck of it.
For the love of it, because we like the sport. But honestly, it's been going downhill in 2025, and it makes it really hard to find the motivation to make these videos. I'm going to be honest. The other sports have been coming in clutch with entertainment value, not just entertainment value, money. UFC, in UFC, you gotta worry about the rogue ass judges and refs who ruin practically every card with at least one shitty decision. Should we rebrand to GC Picks?
For fuck's sake.
Fuck.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, guys, look. The reason we don't just automatically do that and we ask for people's opinions is, first and foremost, we want to respect the audience. You know, if that's not what the audience wants to see and you guys are really just like, yo, you know, we don't really fuck with all the other stuff, like, let's keep it UFC, that's completely fine too. That's why we're asking you guys. Yes, of course, at the end of the day, it's our videos. We can do whatever we want. But we're trying to make videos for people. And what's the point of just completely ignoring the opinions of the people who are watching you from the very beginning of anything? It's like, guys, we want to know, should we start dropping the picks? Do we keep it GCMMA? Let us know inside of the comments. And there's a lot of you guys who watch and don't comment. And we do appreciate everyone who watches. But if there's a video for you to comment and make yourself and your opinions known, this would be it. Drop a comment.
I know there's a lot of you degens out there who aren't just fucking UFC degens. You're full-on sports betting degens. So you all know baseball, NBA football,
yeah,
shit like that. UFL,
Chinese basketball.
Yeah, that's the type of shit that we dive into to make money, boys.
So yeah, boys. Anyhow, getting into this card, UFC Kansas City, Prates versus Garry. This is actually a pretty decent one. I feel like there are definitely some pretty good chances in terms of like safe money as far as UFC goes. Obviously, nothing's fucking safe money. Don't bet where you can't afford to lose because this shit is bound to go rogue at some point. It doesn't matter how easy the card seems, something's going rogue no matter what. Starting with the first fight, Timothy Kwamba versus Roberto Romero. I forgot about this. Roberto Romero was that dude who fought David Onama the last time and was
fucked up.
He was running it
in the beginning.
Yeah. He got fucked up. So it's like, guys, he has some potential. Maybe this is a Felipe Dos Santos type of situation where his debut, he's running it and then he sucks. He really sucks after he gets to the UFC.
What's the odds? What are the odds?
Let's go ahead and double check that, but I'll tell you right now, boys, I'm definitely not going with Timothy Kwamba. I don't. No odds will be able to change my mind as much as I am curious to see what.
Yeah, that's why I'm curious, because I wasn't gonna pick Kwamba either, but it's probably favorite.
He's plus 100. Let's
Yeah,
go
definitely
Romero.
Romero, boys. Because if this was truly like a spot for Kwamba, he would be favored.
He sucks.
He would be favored if this was a fight he was gonna win. I can guarantee you that. The fact that he's an under. Does books see him as a dog? Because this is honestly a fight where I could see the books taking him as a favorite. But I'm glad that they took him as an underdog because that just proves to me that they know he's not gonna fucking run it.
Yeah, guys, that is definitely a logic I subscribe to for that fight, or specifically for this one. Cameron Simon is a slight dog against Malcolm Wellmaker. Guys, I'm not trying to cap on Malcolm Wellmaker. He was impressive on Dana White's Contender Series. However, I'm picking Cameron Simon in this matchup. I get he maybe had a couple stinkers his last couple times and lost to Christian Rodriguez and Peyton Talbot.
But those are decent guys.
It's like, guys, he's been fighting in the UFC now for a couple years. And sure, maybe he's not indestructible, but he has experience enough that I think will help him against someone making their debut, like Malcolm Wellmaker. Like, this is pretty even. They have Simon as a dog, but I'm definitely taking him in this spot.
Yeah. Simon at plus money is the play here. I feel like I know he's coming off losses to Payne Talbot and C-Rob, but both of those guys are pretty decent fighters in the division. Pretty decent unranked guys, and definitely guys that would kick Malcolm Wellmaker's ass, I feel like. So I think Cameron Simon's going to come in here with a little bit more experience. He's still young.
A little more of a chip on his shoulder.
Yeah, a little bit of a chip on his shoulder. He's got the experience in the UFC over this guy.
And he's not bad. It's not. It's like,
he doesn't
completely
completely suck. So I think he can get it done, and I'm gonna take him at plus money.
All right, I've got one of the locks of the week coming up here, boys. This fight doesn't make any sense, and neither do the odds. Damon Blackshear versus Altia Lang.
What are the odds that don't make sense, bro? What
Damon Blackshear's minus 300.
Yeah, he should easily.
He was minus like 400 against Cody, or what was that fucking guy's name?
Stamen?
No, the dude after him, Cody Gibson. He was a bigger favorite against that guy than Altia Lang, and I feel like that guy might kick his ass.
Yeah, the Blackshear's a lock here, boys. I'm gonna lay the fucking
by finish.
We're gonna lay the Blackshear minus 300 because we are degen gamblers, but it works. Give me the Blackshear minus 300, boys.
Yeah, guys. I mean, Altia Lang. If you guys are looking for a technical breakdown on this, it doesn't really get much more technical than the fact that Damon Blackshear has looked good. On Altia Lang beat Clydeson Rodriguez. Lost to Chris Gutierrez. Okay, say what you want about that. Beat Chad Anheliger. Knocked out Kevin Kroom. It's a bro.
Kevin Kroom.
Draw against Gustavo Lopez.
This guy ain't shit.
Lost to Casey Kenny. The Mongolian Knight.
I've seen it.
All right, Damon Blackshear.
Damon Blackshear money line.
By finish, like I said.
Money line, by finish,
Not
any
to
way
go
you
the
want to take it.
distance.
Blackshear, boys.
Chris Gutierrez versus John Castaneda. Guys, I don't give a shit about this fight. We got excited because it was on a fight night a couple months ago when we slightly gave a flying fuck about it.
But now that it got rebooked, I don't really give a fuck.
It's like fucking walking around and picking up your shoe and being like, oh shit, I got some gum on the bottom of it. This fight sucks. There's not going to be a finish. Chris Gutierrez is boring and he's average. John Castaneda doesn't finish anybody.
What's the goes the distance line? I might bet that.
Neither of these guys are doing shit in this fight.
I might bet that goes the distance, but it's probably fucking...
minus 350 to go the distance.
Am I degen enough to lay it? Maybe. We'll see.
Evan Elder versus Gage Young. This fight is kind of rogue, boys.
Gage Young?
because he beat that Quinton Saul killed dude on the Contender Series by decision.
That Sal killed guy isn't shit because of a win over Ansel fucking Jubilee.
And here's what's rogue.
Jubilee really sucks. And
Gage Young has only beat Darius Flowers in the last 5 years. What do you rate more?
I fade Gage Young. I definitely rate a win over a younger fighter like Sally Kid over fucking Darius Flowers.
So we're tailing Gage Young. Gage Young won against Sal Kid. Bryce Elder won against Darius Flowers.
Yeah, give me Gage Young.
And Evan Elder is like that.
Yeah, give me Gage Young. What's his record?
9-2. They're even on record. Give me Gage Young.
Give me Gage Young, bro. I'm not on Evan Elder.
Alright, guys. Here's the most ridiculous odds of this card. Matt Schnell versus Jimmy Flick. Matt Schnell coming in at -300. Guys, I'm going to be honest here. This doesn't make sense whatsoever. But I'm honestly degen enough. I'm gonna lay the money with Matt Schnell.
Dude, you gotta be out of your goddamn
I'm not taking
mind.
Jimmy Flick, dude. Are you shitting me? Should this fight be -300? Hell no.
And no way am I fucking picking Jimmy fucking Flick. But and also, no way am I betting Matt Schnell at -300, bro. There's not a goddamn chance in hell.
Breaking news with Fox News. Conor McGregor reveals quote-unquote only condition for UFC return. On to the next
Dude,
Randy
are
Brown
you kidding me?
versus Nicholas Dalby, guys.
What the hell?
I think Randy Brown is kind of straight.
I know we've capped on Nicholas Dalby in the past, but
you know, he's good. He's in shape. I don't see him getting knocked out. But Randy Brown's pretty good. He's only lost to JDM and Brian Battle in recent
and he kept
memory.
it pretty close.
And he lost to Chaos Williams by a bullshit robbery decision.
Yeah, that one kind of stings. But the other ones you can kind of be like...
You can use them as reasoning, is what we're saying.
Nicholas Dalby hasn't beat anybody of that level.
He beat Gabriel Bonfim.
Like I said, he hasn't beat anybody of that level.
Ikram Aliskerov versus Andre Muniz. Guys, give me Ikram Aliskerov.
Yeah, I was seriously going to be on if you picked Andre fucking Muniz. This guy has sucked.
This is all I'm going to say, guys. While I'm picking on Ikram Aliskerov, I will never forget how there was a group of motherfuckers.
I was literally, I swear I was going to get on that too, bro.
Who picked this guy over Robert Whittaker. And Robert Whittaker's getting a first round KO. When does he ever run that, guys? You have got to suck.
Well, I just want to know what those fuckers were thinking. Because Ikram Aliskerov, whatever the fuck, he doesn't suck. He's definitely has some talent. But by no means was he ever on the level of somebody like Robert Whittaker, who's literally a former champion in the division and who has been fucking people up for like 10 years at the top level. But anyways, he's gonna win this fight.
That's without a doubt.
That's
boys.
without a doubt.
There's not an amount of money that I wouldn't put on him to win this fight, to be honest.
Yeah.
If I could sell my family members and put it on Ikram Aliskerov, I would, guys. There is legitimately no way he loses this fight. This is a very good bounce back spot for him, regardless of how big of a favorite he is.
Yeah, I'm down to lay the juice. Boys, like, that's the thing that we've learned from the betting is laying the juice. Sometimes
it's just what you have to do.
You gotta lay the juice. When you know it's gonna hit it, lay it despite the odds. Sometimes it's gonna go rogue, boys. There's no preventing some rogue shit from going on, but 9 times out of 10, laying the juice is gonna cash.
Especially in these spots. Going on to the next fight, we've got Michel Pereira versus Abus Magomedov. Boys, there's really only one play here that makes sense.
And it's a fucking hammer play. I haven't seen the odds. I don't think the odds have even released. But the play is hammer, not to go the distance. Michel Pereira's gas tank is cooked, but he's a finisher in the early rounds. Abus Magomedov has finishing ability, and his gas tank gets a little on that as well. So I don't see this.
Not to go the distance is minus 185.
Are you kidding me?
No.
Boys, lay it. Lay it, lay it, lay it, lay it. Because this is not going the distance.
Also in breaking news, Matt Schnell is now minus 200 against Jimmy Flick. The odds dropped 100 points. There's some sharp money coming in on Jimmy Flick.
Yeah, we've got sharp money coming in on Jimmy Flick, boys. This card's going to be a fucking crazy one.
Moving on, guys, we've got David Onama versus Giga Chikadze. And guys, typically, David Onama is a guy I like to take plus money against JSP. That was pretty good, even though it was a split decision. I don't think he beats Giga Chikadze here. I mean, Giga Chikadze is not the greatest guy in the world. We've definitely been on him on this channel multiple times. But going split decision to Arnold Allen, losing to the people he lost to, Calvin Kattar. Like, when Calvin Kattar a couple years ago was in his prime, like, he knocked out Edson Barboza, and Lerone Murphy couldn't even do that. And Edson Barboza is worse now. It's like, this guy's not entirely bad as his recent record would show. But
Is
David,
he favored?
No, he's a dog. But here's what I'm saying. I just can't really trust David Onama. Like, against lower level guys, he got dropped in the first round by Roberto Romero on short notice. He got dropped in the first round and survived it. David Onama versus Giga Chikadze. Who has more tools to win the fight, dude? That's realistically the question. Leg kicks, body kicks, punches, speed, not going rogue.
I honestly think I'm going to pick David Onama. I just do not trust Giga Chikadze at this point. David Onama, I feel like he's going to come in here with some momentum. He knows that winning this fight is gonna bounce him into the spotlight in this division. It's gonna get him closer to get into the title or fighting contenders and something like that. And I think that he's had problems with motivation in the past.
Cardio.
Motivation.
That's my main reason for fading him, honestly.
But Giga also has had problems going rogue in the past too. But I feel like Onama has been fixing some of those issues, and that's what's been causing him to go on this little run that he's going on. And I think that the momentum going, he's going to be able to carry that momentum into the
Truthfully, David Onama has been getting better each fight. Giga Chikadze has been getting slightly worse every fight. I will say that. That's 100%.
That's my main reason for.
But I still do like Giga Chikadze in this spot. Moving into the co-main event, guys. Anthony Smith in his retirement fight against
Lay the Juice.
Zhang Mingyang.
Zhang Mingyang.
Yeah, can I get the sweet and sour rice and the Zhang Mingyang? That's my voice. Come on.
Are you fucking kidding me with this guy? He's about to whip Anthony Smith's ass.
He is going to.
This is the lock of the fucking card. And you're going to have to lay it at minus 500, but fuck it.
He might be minus fucking 600 at this point, dude.
I have to lay the whole balance on Wager House.
Minus 525. Should you parlay Ikram Alaskirov and Zhang Mingyang?
Safe parlay.
And not to go the distance with... Alright, boys.
If that's plus money, let's lay it.
GCMA hasn't given out a
Parlay in a minute. Let's cook it up live.
We are getting ready.
Can we get that at plus money? Let's figure it out. What is it?
Plus 112 on a 3-leg.
I'll take it.
Tail it if you want it, guys. That we're not even necessarily sure if we're laying it.
I might put my
But
hard rock
anyways, Anthony Smith losing to Roman Dolidze was kind of like the nail in the coffin with me for that guy. He got knocked out by Dominic Reyes and basically curled up into a ball and got beat up. I get it, man. You know, I'm not trying to speak negatively about his mental situation or, you know, what he had to go through with his friend, you know, passing away and stuff. Because, I mean, yeah, that would really suck and obviously affect your life. And I get it, you know, he doesn't want to fight any longer because his buddy was, like, you know, linked to that, and that's fine.
And that's why we're picking against him.
But it's like, dude, I can't just necessarily ignore the fact that he's a very good opportunity to get his ass kicked in this fight and bet against him and make some money. It's like, guys, there are some opportunities in which you just cannot pass up, no matter the moral or ethical repercussions. Anthony Smith was wallowing. He's upset. He's sad. He's, you know, crying, sniffling. He's getting knocked out, guys.
Yeah, like already off rip on paper, Anthony Smith is not winning this fight. And just to add on top of that, the mental battle that he's been going through, he's saying in public that he wants to quit fighting. I'm not picking somebody who's literally out in the public saying they want to quit fighting, and then 3 months later they're in a fight against some guy who has literally been knocking motherfuckers
out left and right, and is trying to climb the ranks,
and who's motivated to fight and is much younger. So yeah, I'm laying Mingyang Zhang in this fucking fight.
Yeah, guys, and in the main event, and this is definitely one of the more interesting fights on the card. But Ian Garry versus Carlos Prates. I feel like a lot of people honestly give Ian Garry much more credit than he deserves.
Yeah, and it's just strictly because he's a pussy in
A,
his fights.
yeah, A, he's a pussy. B, he's a bitch. C,
He sucks.
he's a... it starts with a C. I don't know if we can say it on YouTube. It's like, guys, he gets dropped by fucking...
Song Kanan.
What, he beat Gabe Green and some Jordan Williams guy. Okay, he knocks out D-Rod in 2023. Decision with Neil Magny. Decision with Jeff Neal.
Decision with Neil Magny is all you need to hear.
Decision with Jeff Neal. Decision with MVP. Decision with fucking...
And the Jeff Neal fight and the MVP fight, he could have fucking easily lost.
It was a split decision in the Jeff Neal fight.
Yeah, he literally won those fights because he sniffed their nutsack against the cage. That's how he won those fights. And I feel like Prates
He might pull a John Silva and show us he's got some submission shit.
Yeah, and I'm not fading the fighting nerds. I picked against John Silva on the last card. Yeah. Not because I actually thought. I picked for the fucking memes and the odds. The fighting nerds are here to fucking stay, and they're here to fuck shit up.
If you think that we're fading the fighting nerds for some guy who took his wife's last name.
You're out of your damn mind.
Fucking out of your mind.
You're out of your damn mind.
You're telling me this guy who's winning a fight, he's taking shots of Fireball and smoking cigarettes and knocking people out cold, and every fight is losing to some guy going to decision, taking his wife's last name. Get the fuck out of there.
Yeah, are you out of your damn mind? Fighting nerds, Prates are running it. Prates represents... He's a representative.
He represents an ideology
that we feel strongly about, and it's running it. He's a professional fighter, and he's still running it, and he's knocking people the fuck out, and he's on his way to a title shot, and Garry isn't gonna stand in his way.
Yeah, and it's like, guys, obviously the fighting nerds have become so popular, and we all want to see them fight. We honestly kind of have to sit and think about, maybe it's not Prates, but think about this. Which of the fighting nerds do you see either A, getting the opportunity to become champion first, or B, becoming champion first? Right? Is it Ruffy, who just knocked out Bobby Green? Is it Gene Silva, who just submitted Bryce Mitchell? Is it Prates, who's likely going to knock out Garry? Or is it Baralho, who's about to probably fight Chimaev?
Baralho and Silva are one fight away from a title shot. Ruffy's about 2 or 3.
I give Ruffy
Prates
probably 3.
Is probably 2.
I give Ruffy 3 and Prates probably 2.
With this and one more, he's at the title shot.
I agree with that.
Silva and Baralho are one away, but these motherfuckers are running shit in the UFC. And
we better take, ever since we saw, our first video was when John Silva was making his debut, guys. We've been saying, and fucking Pereira versus Prohaska 2 card, we literally bet Gene Silva at plus money against Charles Jourdain.
Like, we've been picking these guys for the longest.
We did fade Carlos Prates when Chuck Buffalo was fighting him, but we learned it was his second fight in the UFC. We learned our lesson after that fight and realized, okay, this guy is here to fuck shit up, and you cannot trust your money against this guy.
I'm not laying these guys at plus money is a gift. You have to take advantage of it while it's here.
Will 100% be plus money against Chimaev, dude.
I'm taking that. I don't trust Chimaev after the first round.
But yeah, boys, you know, those are our picks for this week. Like we said, let us know. Do we keep it GCMMA? Do we start dropping some other picks? Well, I'm not trying to toot our own horns. I'm just trying to give you guys an idea of like what it's on. I'm personally very good with betting baseball. He's personally very good at betting with NFL. If we're able to go a couple months out of the year when baseball's in the season, make money, a couple years in the NFL when NFL's in the season, and sprinkle in some UFC wins, what more can you guys ask for free videos to watch? You know what I mean? So drop us in the comments if you want us to start incorporating the other stuff, but those are our picks for this week.
Yeah, boys, it's good to be back. It sucked there wasn't a card last week, but we made the most of it on the other sports, so let us know what you think about us making content on other sports and shit, but that's all we got for you for this week, boys. GCMMA, we out.